before Bethlehem, before Nazareth, before the cross, before the world itself. There was eternity, and in that eternity was Jesus, the one who would enter time, the one who would walk among us, the one whose name would change history forever. The story began long before the manger. Creation came. The heavens were stretched across the darkness. The earth was formed. Humanity was created. And generation after generation passed, until the promise came. God would come near, not as a king surrounded by armies, but as a child. In Nazareth, a young woman named Mary received a message that would change the world. She would give birth to a son. His name would be Jesus. He was not born in a palace. There was no throne, no army, no royal celebration. He came in humility. In Bethlehem, Mary held her newborn son. Joseph stood beside her. Shepherds came to see him. And above that humble place, the night seemed filled with a light the world had never known. The Eternal had entered time. The Creator had stepped into his creation. Jesus grew in Nazareth. He lived quietly. He worked with his hands. He knew hunger, tiredness, joy, and sorrow. 4 years, the greatest story in human history, remained hidden inside an ordinary life. Then came the Jordan River. Jesus stepped into the water. He was baptized, and the heavens opened. His public mission had begun. He went into the wilderness, alone, hungry and tested. Yet he remained faithful. Then he returned with a message. The kingdom of God is near. Come, follow me. Fishermen left their nets. Ordinary men became his disciples. Crowds gathered wherever he went. Jesus spoke to the broken, the rejected, the frightened. He taught them to forgive, to love, to trust, and to turn back to God. Then came the miracles. The sick came to him. The blind cried out. The helpless were carried to him. And Jesus touched those others were afraid to touch. Where people saw sickness, he brought healing. Where they saw shame, he brought dignity. Where they saw hopelessness, he brought hope. Then a storm rose on the Sea of Galilee. The disciples were terrified. Waves crashed around their boat. But Jesus stood in the middle of the storm, and the sea became still. His disciples looked at him in wonder. Who is this? He fed thousands with almost nothing. He walked upon the water. He brought life where death had taken it. He called Lazarus from the tomb. But his greatest work was not only in the miracles. He revealed the heart of God. He sat with sinners. He welcomed the forgotten. He forgave those who believed they could never be forgiven. He looked beyond people's failures and saw their hearts. And the more he loved, the more opposition grew. Then came Jerusalem. His body was placed inside a tomb. A great stone was rolled across the entrance. For his followers, there was only grief, only silence, only darkness. But God was not finished. On the third day, everything changed. The stone was moved. The tomb was empty. Death had not won. Jesus was alive. Mary came to the tomb and found him gone. Then he appeared to his followers. They saw him. They heard him. They touched him. The one they had watched die was standing before them alive. Fear became joy. Despair became hope. Jesus appeared to his followers again and again. He walked with them. He spoke with them. He restored Peter. He strengthened his disciples. And he gave them a mission. Go into the world. Carry the message. Tell them what you have seen. Tell them what you have heard. Tell them that death is not the end. Then, on a mountain, his disciples watched as Jesus was lifted from the earth. He disappeared from their sight, but not from history. The one who came from eternity had completed his earthly mission. The disciples stood looking toward the heavens. But Jesus had not left them without hope. His Spirit would remain. His message would travel. His followers would carry his name across nations, across languages, across generations. The one who came from eternity had completed his earthly mission. But eternity was never the beginning of Jesus, and it will never be his ending. He entered our world. He walked among us. He died for us. He rose again. And he lives. From eternity to eternity, Jesus remains forever.